Owen, what's up, dude?
How you been?
You like my jacket, man?
Yeah, dude, it looks good on
Yeah,
you.
yeah, looking filled out,
Got
yeah.
a lot of dog hair on it, but that's...
Oh yeah, I know.
Hey,
Yeah,
living them things.
yeah. I just petted my dog, so I didn't realize how much she sheds, man.
it's
Jesus
winter
Christ.
time. What are you doing?
Yeah, no kidding, bro. No kidding, bro. So what you been up to? You making new shirts or what's going on?
Yeah, so I've got some new shirts dropping on New Year's. I think Marty was telling me that everybody's dropping on New Year's, so I feel less creative now. But
Whatever.
it's all about the decade, so.
Right. Is there music dropping on New Year's?
That's what Marty. I don't know about like big music stuff.
Right, just like
dropping, 'cause
smaller guys.
They always drop on Thursday nights, and it's one Saturday.
Did you like some of the music that came out recently, like Cuddy's album and shit?
Dude, Cuddy is sad as fuck.
I know.
I saw that album cover and I was like, this shit is about to be in.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great album.
It is a good album.
What do you
I
think?
need to get on it more. I have a hard time listening through longer albums like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like the 11 song projects.
Those are, yeah. To me, those are better. They seem more like for example, I did you like Astroworld? I think you said you didn't really like Astroworld.
I don't think it's Travis's best stuff, but
Right.
it is pretty good. It's fun to listen to. For sure.
It's fun for sure, but that's like an example. It's like 11, 12 songs or something like that.
Yeah.
So a damn, that's like a 14-song album.
Right.
I love that fucking album, dude.
Bro, did you see the Grammy nominations for Rap Album of the Year?
I don't look at those,
Dude,
bro.
I don't give a fuck most years because they fuck it up every time.
Every
but
time.
They did a good job this year.
Who's in the lineup?
Royce's album was on there, which
Okay.
to me is like mind blowing. Jay Electronica is on there.
His album was wild.
Dude, so dope. That's one of my favorites of the year. I bought it as soon as it came out.
Really?
On vinyl, and
Oh, I saw that. I
they
saw
keep
that.
sending me emails delaying it. Like they were like, "Sorry about the inconvenience. We'll hopefully ship by December 11th or whatever." And then like December 10th, they
Right.
sent another email. January 21st, high demand, blah blah blah. It's like, bro, just give me my fucking album. King's Disease by Nas was nominated.
That was a great album.
That was a great album.
And I'm not the biggest. I love Nas. I respect him. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but because I have like 3 Nas albums that I fucking love,
Yeah.
but there's some of them I'm wishy-washy, just like every
Right,
other artist.
right.
But that album was like, I love that album.
It's cool to see like an old. That's what the list is. Like Freddie Gibbs was on there too, and then
Love Freddie.
But it's like a bunch of old hits this year, which is dope to see because like I feel like they were able to focus more in this time on just the music.
Yeah.
A lot of younger artists felt the pressure of like, there's so much time to create now. Like what do I do?
Right.
So a lot of artists like didn't even drop this year.
Right.
It was dope to see all the old heads on there.
It'd be interesting to see Jay come out with something like
Bro.
in this
Yeah.
like sound of music
Yeah,
recently,
yeah,
like.
yeah.
2018 plus, I guess. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I think once I'd say like 2017, 2018 kind of started its own like sound.
Right. Yeah.
And I think Jay, when did Jay drop? Like 2017 or something, or 2016?
2016.
Okay, so a little bit before it, yeah, which was a phenomenal album. People kind of hated, but people always kind of hate when old artists drop shit.
Right,
I'm like,
yeah.
whatever, dude.
Bro, it's better than anything coming out. You just can't appreciate it.
Oh, man, dude. So I heard I tried to listen to Playboi Carti's album, but I could not get into it, dude.
Bro, I swear you have to be under the influence like tenfold to be able to, or like that's like criminal record music.
Right. Well, I was talking with Marty, and he was like, did you listen to? And usually me and Marty are pretty like similar in music and somewhat, but he loved that album. I was like, no. I was like, I could not.
I can't.
It's like screechy.
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That's a pretty good impression.
How long can you possibly listen to that shit?
Yeah. Well, supposedly he didn't really do the ad libs this time. He did like lyrical shit, which I tried. Like I listen to the Kanye songs. I love Kanye,
Right.
but I just couldn't do it. I listened to a couple songs. I try not to hate on music because I have this like hip hop podcast aside from this.
Right.
Because like I don't want to be like when I make it, I should say. I don't want to be like, no offense to like Charlemagne or Adam 22, like, or Joe Budden, like they kind of hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, once you're talking about music so long, like
It's hard not to like criticize, but I don't.
hate is the easiest thing to portray.
Right.
It's like, to actually feel passionate in a project and shit like that, you have to go out of your way to be like, I appreciate the little things in this album or whatever.
Right.
It's so easy to be like,
This
man,
sucks.
fuck Playboy Cardi. That
Right.
shit is trash.
Right. But see, that's the thing, like you said there, I hate how, like, I rarely see those guys say, like, man, I loved this about this album. It's mainly like, what are they doing? What's their drama? What are they, what did their girlfriend do? Like, I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Kids have the music.
Yeah. How do you feel about Charlemagne?
Dude, I love the platform he has. He's just a funny dude in my opinion.
He is funny. He is funny. I go back and forth with him. Like, I love him and hate him at the same time. Because sometimes I'm like,
consume a lot more podcasts than I do.
yeah, I do, but I don't. I listen to like 5 straight podcasts, but like I don't like his is more of a radio to me. I like him with Andrew Scholl's podcast. It's like kind of because he's himself. Like Charlemagne is Charlemagne. Like he's himself. He's not like the radio guy. When he's like on Breakfast Club, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Their show just cracks me up.
It's funny, but like when they started hating so much, I'm like, all right, dude, you guys are pissing me off. I get so sensitive. I get so fucking sensitive. I can't even lie.
I just see clips on Twitter of like, because their show gets turned into memes on Twitter more than
Yeah, stop playing with my name. Wasn't that Birdman or
so
something?
funny, bro.
Yeah.
They do every once in a while. Like that's the thing about Twitter is like if you slip up once, you're gonna get that shit streamed 1,000 times. Cause like that's all I see on my feed whenever I see Charlemagne and Breakfast Club and all that shit is like when they ask one really fucking stupid question.
Right. Yeah, like that fucking. I kind of like what's it called when he asked Logic who raped his sister. I was like,
that's what I was about to say.
yeah, and it just kept getting streamed and streamed. I was like, bro, you're on radio, dog. Like,
I just want to know what kind of thought process goes through his head where he's like, oh man, I'm all out of questions. Hey, who raped your sister?
right.
What?
Where do you? Okay, well,
what?
I get it. Okay, I get it. If it was just like one-on-one, you guys are having a deep conversation, and you were like, bro, like if you don't mind me asking, like. Even then, it's still a little too far, but
Stupid fucking question because you're not
Right,
getting
right.
deeper into like what's going on there.
Right.
You could ask like, how did that affect their life? How did that affect your life? Blah blah blah. But who? What are you getting out of that?
right. That's funny as fuck, man. That's crazy. Yeah, dude. So yeah, dude, you've been making these shirts, man, coming out with them. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I like to see, man.
I've been working on my website mostly recently because I have the shirts done.
Repping it. Fuck yeah, 203.
Yeah.
What's that
bro.
supposed to mean?
So 203 is like I've explained this shit 1,000 times. So
Oh,
my
my
explanation
bad.
is my explanation is not as sharp as it used to be because like
You're gotten worn out on saying it.
Right,
Yeah. It's like having the same pickup line with chicks. I'm done. You know what? Fuck it.
It's burnt out. It doesn't have its charm anymore.
Yeah.
No. So 203 is this decade. It's how I denote this decade in the same way that like the 21st century is this century 21. So this will be the 203rd decade in the same way.
Okay.
And in any other sense than like my own imagination, it's just another fucking 10 years.
Right.
But to me, for like our generation and even like the entirety of humanity, these 10 years are going to be extremely important in like the development of the world that we see from then on.
Right.
Because like up until now, our generation has just kind of like we've been absorbing everything that goes on around us, but we can't really do anything about it. Like we turned 18 and we can vote now, but that doesn't really actually fucking do anything. And I feel like from like for 203, I will be going from 20 to 30 years old, and I feel like that is the time when like we start to get our job, we start to apply,
Become
what
yourself.
we've learned
Yeah.
about the world and actually like make our differences because we are also a special generation in my eyes, in the sense that we grew up with technology in our hands.
Right.
And other generations, like you could say, yeah, we all have the internet, so there's no difference. But to me, like, say you're 40 now, you watched smartphones slowly trickle into society.
Right. From
And
payphones to
you already
fucking.
had your worldview set before we were so connected. For us, the internet has been in our hands since we could like properly
Right.
think and create opinions and shit. So, and you can see it in the way that our generation responds to crisis in the world around us. That we have a more broad and less arrogant worldview.
Right.
Because we see everything that's going on around us. That's never happened in human history.
Right.
Where we are so connected to shit that's going on miles away from us.
Right.
It's much harder now to sweep bullshit under the rug when there's a camera on.
Right, 100%.
Like all of the justice shit that was happening over the summer, the protests and all that, were sparked up because of video footage.
Right.
That we otherwise would have, like, that shit's been going on, but now there's video on it.
Right.
So we're less arrogant than other generations, and we do get a lot of shit because we are heavily distracted. But I think that as we mature into our adult minds and get into our jobs and our fields, that we will be the generation that changed the world for the better.
Right.
Because like I have not had a conversation with somebody our age in a long time that does not end up being about how fucking broken the world is.
Right.
Like to the core.
Right. Yeah, dude, I think we're in a crazy sweet spot, our generation, because, like, as you said, like, we grew up in technology, but, like, it's kind of weird, like, we aren't like the kids now where they had iPads before they were born, right?
Yeah, we did.
Like my
perfect.
Right.
We had an
You
actual
remember
childhood.
going to Blockbuster and
Yeah.
rewinding that shit before you
Yeah.
gave it back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You remember CDs putting in your, listening with your parents or whatever, or, like, all of that shit. And you even remember, like, fucking, what to us seems kind of old, like iPod Nanos, or,
Yeah, bro,
right? You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, which is still up there, but, like, let's go back to, like, rewinding shit, like VHS. Like, VHS was out for a while, but we got to, I remember when it was VHS, and then all of a sudden people were,
Fat ass TV.
yeah,
and shit.
big fucking TV. Dude, that's what that thing right there. You can't see it, but that's what that thing is. That's what it
Yeah.
used to be there.
Right.
Fucking fat TV. So, we seen that, right? And then we go from that to this, like what we have now. So we're in the sweet spot, like where we've seen like specifically us, like in our generation, we saw a big change, like as we were young, right? So like it's like your first 7 years of living, that's when you fucking are recollecting all that shit, you know what I mean, or whatever. I know I'm stupid, but I like to sound smart. But so like that big change is like I think it shapes us in a different way than others. So that's why I think we're special versus like my nephew. My nephew's 8, man. So like I had an iPad when fucking he was born. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's never
Right.
he didn't know what a VHS was. Like he doesn't know what a big fucking TV is. It's just so crazy
Kids
what
don't even like go outside and play anymore. They're just
Right.
on Fortnite. Obviously, I can't speak shit because I don't really know what the childhood of somebody now is like.
every generation, like we had it tougher. We had it
Yeah,
tougher.
yeah.
There was more fighting, I will say. Like when you talk to someone in their like 40s, it's like, yep, we just went out. Well, yeah, we just beat the fuck out of each other, bro, right then and there. I remember.
Now we're also passive. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
got Twitter
yeah,
feeds.
I'm gonna fuck you up on this Twitter. I'm gonna fucking throw these hands.
Yeah,
Well, another
exactly.
thing is, you know what's funny? So I remember my stepdad, his friend, him and his friend would always talk. Stepdad at the time, I should say. Him and his friend would talk all the time about like, man, you guys go meet up at the fucking church to fight, bro. He's like, I'm his friend. He's the coolest dude ever. His name was Marlon, man. He goes, man, shit, you get all. He's like, someone calls you out, you just like, it's like, he goes like, if someone calls you out, it's like, I'm just gonna hit them right there. I'm not gonna wait. Like,
hey, meet me at the church 6 p.m.
Right, he's like, cause then everyone's watching this guy. He's like, what if I get my ass whooped? He's like, all this shit's going through my head. It's like, well, dude, we can't because then you guys didn't get in trouble. We get in trouble now.
Now that's the other thing about cameras is they will fuck us up.
Yeah, no kidding, bro. But it's the good thing, like you said, with technology, like with cops and stuff, man, and just the like whole justice system. Like you put them on blast. Like what can they do? Obviously, some don't give a fuck, but I think things are gonna change a lot. I really do believe that. A lot of people might not believe that, but I do believe that because more people are aware, especially after this year of all what happened.
Right.
Like,
it's just that level of accountability because, like, I mean, a police officer should be held to the standard that they can have a camera on their chest and not have to turn it off to do
right.
something like that. That shouldn't exist.
Right.
And I think that is one thing. It's easy to see technology as a curse because, like, right now it is used very poorly. Like, we have a very powerful tool in general, but it is used mainly for distraction and, like, escaping from reality.
Did you think that it would get? Because this is what the thing was. We might have talked about this last time, or I might have talked about this with someone else, but I remember like when technology was like rapidly growing when I was like when we were like in elementary school, you know, and I remember like thinking like, oh, this is good. Everyone's gonna be connected. Like everyone thought that. It seemed like everyone's like, this is like everyone's gonna be connected. Like I guess Wall-E kind of nailed it with like the lazy thing. Like everyone's like, oh, we're gonna be fat and lazy, right? But like besides that, I never knew the crazy social media shit was gonna happen. Like until this is what did it.
You can't predict that kind of shit.
No, you can't because okay, this is what happened when remember when fucking that big thing when like Justin Bieber cut his hair and then a bunch of chicks were like cutting themselves and putting it on fucking. That was like we were like what in 3rd grade when that shit happened or something like that.
Bro, what the
So like think of that like okay. This is like where it's like it gets toxic and then like I think this is where people woke up and was like, this is where it could be bad because a girl with fucking problems who fucking cuts herself and is nuts posts, and I don't care who I'm offending, but posts a picture, like the cuts for Bieber thing. Then girls who might be like normal see that and then they're like, well, I want to get on that trend. And then it starts a trend and then it's like, this is fucking, it's like toxifying everyone.
It spreads like cancer. It's
Right.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I said, we have this insane tool. Our smartphones, we have supercomputers in our pockets.
Right.
But like, all of my screen time is used on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Like, it's just, I'm fucking killing myself.
Dude, I can't get into TikTok for some weird reason.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. It's like, bro, it's so addicting. They say there's so. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm getting addicted. What's it called? No,
Their algorithm is just so brilliant.
Yeah, why is that? Because the hashtags or some shit, or like
Well,
what is it?
I think it's because like you scroll through so quickly. Like as soon as you're not interested in what a video has going on,
The next one pops up that you would like.
and like they can tell based on how long you've been watching a video whether or not you liked it. And
Right.
so it knows you so well after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Dude, my fucking mom got TikTok, and she was like,
No.
yeah, I was like, don't do it.
You're gonna
She
be a
got
crackhead,
TikTok,
mom, like me.
And she was, I was kind of like talking some shit, even though I have the app too.
Right.
And she was like, well, I like it because I learned so much from it. And that is one thing that is
That's what I
interesting
hear.
about it, is that like, it's not a good source of information, but it is a broad source of information.
Right.
Like, you can't necessarily, like, you have to take everything on there with a grain of salt, and misinformation spreads like a motherfucker.
Yeah, no
But,
kidding.
it is like, there's some shit that I would never know without
TikTok,
fucking scrolling
right.
through bullshit. It's like cute girl swipe, something informational swipe, just a funny ass jokes. Like It's ridiculous.
Honestly, before this exact conversation, because I was thinking this the other day, because like I have a buddy who does TikToks, and like because I don't get on there, so I haven't watched, but like like looking at him, they like he has so many followers. I'm like, damn, dude, you're getting pretty good at this, right? Um, but I always thought TikTok was kind of just a trend, kind of like Vine. Like I was like, this is just
Right.
a trend, and something else is gonna happen. That's why I like to stick with like this, because I feel like this will always be long lasting, like podcasts,
Oh, yeah.
because it's like radio, podcasts, and probably something next, right?
Right.
But like,
It's a mature format.
right, because YouTube is like always gonna be there, because YouTube's long lasting, right? So it's like, I mean, it's 10, what is it, like 20 years or 15 years old, I guess,
Yeah,
2005.
that's
So,
crazy,
but what I'm thinking is like with this conversation of people learning so much, maybe this is gonna spin off to a new form of something. You know what I mean? Like a new form of like maybe there's gonna be another type of thing like TikTok, and it's TikTok isn't so much of a trend like people think it is. Like what I should say what I think it is. I feel like it's just a trend. It's gonna last a couple years like Vine did. But when I'm talking to you about this, like with the information thing, like, because I've heard multiple people say, like, I find out so much shit on there. It's like maybe just it's just gonna keep shortening our attention span to like this
That's
information.
exactly what it is, bro. If you look at like the like popular social media throughout time, like it started with like MySpace and Facebook kind of things, where you're like only interacting with people you know, and like they're writing about their day or whatever the fuck and posting pictures. You care a lot more about each individual post back then, and then things like Instagram and Twitter started to pop up, where like you're still following mainly people you know, some celebrities and figures, and then the age of meme pages and all this shit starts to pop up, and every single time that a new era of these things goes on, it is
Right.
our attention span. Like that's the thing I noticed the most with TikTok is it is murdering my attention span.
Right.
Because I'll be like 2 seconds into a video, don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, and then you see that in day-to-day interactions with human fucking beings. I'm like, bro, I really need to learn how to like interact with society.
Right. Dude, that's
we're all so fucking disconnected from it.
yeah, it's bad.
Especially
it's
because
really bad.
this year we're just cooped up at home every damn day.
Right. Do you think now that the vaccine's coming out, it will like things will go back to normal quicker, or do you think it's gonna be?
Well, the rollout for vaccines won't even be in like phase 1 won't be complete until like November of the next year. So my biggest fear with the vaccine is that it eases the mindset of everybody around us. We're like, oh, there's a vaccine now, so I'm gonna stop. Like as if people already didn't give a fuck.
Right.
I can
You're
see
right.
every day at Quick Trip that less and less people are like wearing masks.
They don't
or
say
even
shit
trying.
at Quick Trip. I've noticed that. I mean, you
Well,
work
on
there.
the Kansas side, we can't. I don't
Really?
know why, but on the Kansas side, we can't say anything about masks because of some shit that happened at Walmart or something like that.
Of course,
But on the
Walmart.
Missouri side, we still are required to. You can't buy shit if you're not wearing a mask.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, but. Or I guess it's not even the Missouri side; it's just KC-Mo.
The wherever that the city is, like the
Right.
county or whatever. Yeah. That's wild, man. That's wild.
Yeah, the vaccine has definitely eased people's minds, even though like if you're just like a regular consumer level person, working class, you're not getting that vaccine for a fat ass minute. Like it's going to old people and like the medical field first, and then
Right. Which I feel like as it
essential
should.
workers.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
But, like to think that we're close is like futile. 'Cause
Do you?
we're not
Would
at
you?
all.
I don't know how. Like everyone has their fucking opinion on it. Like it. I wouldn't say it's polarized, but like, what do you think? Are you one of the people who are like, I don't fucking trust that shit? Or are you like, whatever?
I don't
I'm
trust
kinda
it
like-
yet.
right.
My mom is in the medical world, and she
Right.
kind of alleviated some of my stress, and I did some research.
So your
myself.
mom's totally kind of cool with it, or is she
Yeah.
still kind of like,
yeah,
yeah?
she is.
Really?
Because like there are shit popping up where people are having like negative side effects, but it's a very very small percentage.
Well, so is every vaccine, right?
Exactly.
Well, see, that's the thing. My mom's in the medical field as well, and I mean, she's getting it. Like I think she already got. I don't know. I don't want to say she already got it. I don't think she got it yet, but she's gonna get it. And beforehand, I remember my mom was like, I don't trust that shit.
Yeah.
And then like the next week, she's like, I'm gonna
Once
get
it
it.
comes up, you're like, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, just get it over with, right? I don't know. I'm just with being young, I guess, and like I do this is the one thing I do is I take I haven't in a minute. I took a couple of breaks from it because I felt kind of sick, but I was taking like a shit ton of vitamins every day.
Right.
Like, 'cause it's like if you take zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, and all this shit. And, like, it made me feel better, like, just taking vitamins in general. It's probably a placebo. Like, I feel fucking healthier, right? But, I don't know. I just felt like that was, like, me doing my part. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing that pisses me off is, like, don't get me wrong. I am, like, all for wearing masks. Like I'm not, like, I'm pretty, like, I'm in the middle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, I'll never be an anti-masker, but I'm not going to fucking, like, just wear your fucking mask. Wear your fucking mask. Like, I'm not, whatever, dude. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm young, you know? But the thing is, though, like, I feel like no one's, like, there's no, like, hey, guys, let's all fucking start taking these vitamins to help us, like, reject this virus, right? There's no health. And I feel like, honestly, America kind of got hit hard because of our health. I really do. Do you think so?
Because of our health system or because of our health in general?
Probably both, dude. Probably because our health system is fucked. And for two, I mean, bro, there's a McDonald's on every corner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know technically we're not, like, the fattest country, but, like, I mean, dude, it's like, dude, I went to, a long time ago, because I don't ever really eat at these places, which is tough to believe, because I got a belly, but, I went to KFC / the Kentucky Hut, or KFC / Taco Bell. Motherfucker got a donut fucking chicken. So I was like, this is the most American shit right here. And it's disgusting. Like, it's like, dude, that's terrible.
It's more of a health crisis than a coronavirus crisis. The thing that pisses me off is, like, other countries have essentially entirely curbed COVID without having to get a vaccine. Like, they don't even have to decide whether or not they trust a vaccine because they solved the problem like anybody else should.
Right.
Just, like, actually lock down. And that's every day I'm like, bro, we could literally all just lock down for 3 weeks and we'd be fine.
Do you think
all this shit would be
Do you
over.
think we still could do that and we'd be fine?
It's not gonna happen.
Oh no, it's not gonna happen for sure. But do you think that, because at the beginning, I don't have an opinion about that anymore, but in the beginning I was like, dude, just lock this bitch down for 3 weeks, fucking martial law, whatever, have everyone fucking stay in your fucking house, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it would have solved it, but since it's gone this far, I feel like I don't know.
Well, it's still the same solution. Literally,
right.
Like, COVID only lasts in your system for about 2 weeks. So if everybody stayed in a social pod that could be tracked for 3-4 weeks, it would alleviate itself, and the last few people that die from COVID would die.
Right.
But that's, if we
it's not gonna happen.
If we can't even get a $600 stimulus check, I don't expect
that to happen.
I don't
right.
expect them to lock back down. It's too focused on the economy.
For sure. I think there needs to be a little bit of.
Fucking ridiculous.
I think it needs to be both. Like, like you should care. Like, I think, like, it always the truth. I feel like the truth always lies in the middle, right? Like, it needs to be like, okay, let's think about, which kind of got us fucked in the first place, I guess, because it was like, let's focus on the economy, but we gotta focus on health.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. I guess that kind of contradicts what I'm saying because we kind of laid in the middle and it kind of fucked us, right?
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. I think about it a lot. Actually, I don't. I don't think about it at all. That's a lie. I just lied. I don't think about it at all.
That's what America gets for being so polarized. Like they want us to be polarized.
Well, Trump polarized us, man. That's the whole reason why we're so polarized.
The two-party system has been polarizing us, but
right. But dude, I saw this video in 2008. And, like, dude, I mean, I was 8 years old. We were 8 years old, right? So, like, we didn't really even, like, I mean, I remember the election, but I didn't really, like, didn't give a, like, I was 8.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah, it was 8. But, like, I saw this video of McCain, and someone was trying to get, like, him to talk shit on Obama. It was like, Robert, he's like, no. Like, dude, I give him props because he stopped. He's like, no. I really, he's a great dude. I really love Obama. I just don't agree with him politically. That's why I'm running against him.
Right.
I'm not going to say anything negative about him because that's what you want me to do. He said that, and I was like,
Imagine
that could not even happen anymore. I'd be like, yeah, he is a fucking kitty toucher. Fuck him. He is a, like, it's like, what?
It's ridiculous. One of my friends brought this up, and it's been blowing my mind ever since. Like, we kind of had worst case scenario with Donald Trump in office during COVID, because most other Republican presidents would have been logical about COVID. But instead, we had this guy that decided that masks got in between us and our freedoms. And of course, everybody that supports him is going to be like, yeah, fuck these masks.
Right.
So we just got so layered fucked over.
Right.
On that.
I think, you know what I think it was with that? With that whole situation, I think it was like what you're saying, but the other way around, as in, like, he knew that the rednecks didn't want to wear a mask. You know what I mean? Like, he fucking knew. I feel like...
Maybe.
You don't think so?
I really don't. I really think it has to do with the fact that, like...
He was
so laid back about COVID in applying it to our lives.
Right.
That is the side that people took. Because if there was a Republican president that was like, yeah, everybody should be wearing masks.
You think that the Republican people would be more here's
the deal. Like, everybody is so much more of a sheep than they want to admit.
Oh, 100%.
People don't
100%.
have as many opinions as they think they have. It's mostly based around what their team says.
Right.
And your team leader is like, these masks aren't doing anything. They're giving you your own health problems. Blah blah blah.
Right.
It's like, yeah. So.
Right.
You're just gonna follow that.
Right. See, I agree to an extent because I'm like, because I always said this, like, I was like, okay, I do think that, like, obviously, like, he was always laid back, but I always felt like that, like, because Trump knows his fucking voters, you know what I mean? He knows his people, so I feel like he saw, like, oh, these rednecks, they don't like that. Okay, I'm going to fucking drive it into the ground like he always does.
It could be a little bit of both.
I think it was a little bit of both, but I do agree that, like, he definitely was laid back the whole time. Like, no, don't wear these fucking masks. And
It literally took him months to be on video wearing a mask.
Right.
Which is just fucking insane.
Right.
Like, that's not helping anyone.
Right. The only reason why I contradict that is because my uncle was like, he's a Republican, so he was like, I'm so fucking mad at Trump right now. I was like, why? He's like, saw him wearing a mask. I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, whatever. So that's what contradict me with that. But I do agree everyone is a sheep, and I think that if Trump would have, if he would have been like, no, we got to wear a mask, then more people like on his side would have been like, okay, let's just wear a mask. Right. I agree. Because people fucking suck his dick like crazy. Right. It's kind of fucking nuts how he can brainwash so many people.
Yeah, man. They look up to this dude because he's got a shit ton of money, and he doesn't give a fuck about how people feel, and they're like, nice.
That was fucking great. They do though. It's like a typical American thing. Like, this guy doesn't give a fuck. This guy is fucking. I mean, it's like, I remember Obama was talking. He's like, they're like, why do these rappers like him? And he's like, well, think about it. They're talking about bling. Right. He fucking is always like, like trying to stun on people. He's like, they're talking about money. He has money. He has that I don't give a fuck attitude. He's like, and that's where,
Donald Trump's been in hip-hop bars since far before his presidency.
I didn't realize it. I don't remember the Mac Miller song. I didn't realize how many more Trump bars there were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure there's one on, like, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember who said it.
Oh, dude, they had that one song. Ray Shrimmer was like, Up Like Donald Trump. That was a pretty good song. Not anymore, really. I think people
like,
kind of like, never mind.
Oh, man.
That's funny. That's fucking crazy, dude. I couldn't imagine, man. It's just, I don't know. I didn't. Did you end up voting for third party, or did you change your mind?
Dude, I just didn't vote.
I didn't either, man.
I feel bad still, but also, like, there's part of me that just doesn't get what's
Yeah.
Because, like, seeing Biden get elected, it's like, okay, that's a small W, but at the same time, it's still an old white dude. It's like you're getting somebody that's cut from the same fucking cloth. Same generation, same racial, social, socio-economic group. Like,
Right.
just because he's a diet Republican.
He's a
We
diet,
don't have
yeah.
we don't have a Democratic president. We have a diet Republican
Right.
in office.
See, dude, I didn't like either one of them. Like, this is how I felt, right? There were some things that, unbiasedly, if I took both their personalities and their evils away, unbiasedly, yeah, there were certain things that I was okay with both sides. And people get mad at me for that because they're like, oh, you're a Trump supporter. I'm like, no, dude, it's not. I'm taking, like, take away who they are, and I'm looking at it just like if I was, like, from a foreign country and I didn't know like, well, everyone knows, but you know what I mean. If I was a fucking alien from Mars and I saw this, I would be like, I couldn't pick either one, but I was so dead in the middle that I was like, man, and people were like mad that I was like even debating like who I should vote. First off, I was never gonna vote, or I was gonna vote for third party, but I was like even debating who I'd rather have, and people were like, how could you even like? I was like,
see,
it's so bad. Both of them are terrible.
I understand that. That's why I wasn't very open about not voting because like.
Were your parents pissed?
I don't think they know.
Would they have been pissed if they knew?
Yeah, probably. I don't think my dad would have really cared all that much. But there are people that like their livelihood has been so heavily affected by Donald Trump's policy that it's like another 4 years of that would actually ruin lives. And that's how.
Right.
In that sense, I do understand voting for Biden. But to me, your vote should be an expression of how you feel, and I feel that neither party deserved my vote.
Right.
I guess if I really wanted to express, I would have voted third party, but I fucked up and hadn't registered on time, so it's like, well.
Yeah, same, because I was going to vote that night for third party, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to vote, and then they were like, did you register? I was like, no. He's like, you're not voting. I was like, okay. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I see, like, and I've gone over a million times, so I don't need to get into, like, why I hate them, because everyone knows, like, it's the obvious reasons why I hate both of them.
Yeah.
And why I don't think either one could work. Like, you know, the thing with Trump is like with his, like not even just not his policies, because like I always say I try to vote for policies instead of people, but really you got to look at the person too, because the way he was polarized us, like made.
That is a good thing about Biden's campaign is that he
Yes.
wants to reunite the American people.
Right.
And I hope that is a big focus of his shit because like Trump tore this shit apart.
Yeah.
And to even come close to where we want to be, it does have to be about uniting.
Right.
Because that is like, to me in my head now it is red versus blue, and I don't think that was as much the case during Obama's presidency. Now it is like there are teams, and I'm scared of the other team.
Right.
You know, like,
Definitely. 100%.
I definitely, the day that, obviously it fucking took forever to actually confirm that Biden won, but once like the electoral votes were tipped to his side, like I walked outside and I was just out on a walk and I could see like and feel a more positive energy in the air, and you could tell like the people that voted for Trump, they're kind of like
mad.
Shit.
I was like this. I was like, eh. I literally did that. I was like, eh. Well, but this is what I did notice. I'm with you on one thing, and that is, well, not meaning that, but I'm with you on that. I noticed that things are not so fucking tense anymore.
Yeah.
With Biden, because don't get me wrong, I did not want Biden, just as I didn't want Trump, but I did not want Biden. I was like, bro, I don't want either one. But when, and I'm gonna quote Rogan said it best for me, was like, he's like, maybe it's not, I hate to say this, maybe it's not bad that Biden won because people are chilling the fuck out, and on both sides, I'm not discriminating, it's each side of the fucking, I mean, both sides were fucking going crazy, and that is because of him. So it's like, you take him out of it, as we did, it made things really, I could see, I don't see anyone really argue political. I haven't really heard anything political at all. I haven't seen, at work, I hear political arguments.
The problem with it too, though, is that it makes, like, oh, we got Biden in office, we won. It's like Black Lives Matter doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Because now somebody's in office. And like,
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think they're gonna do anything for that. Like, I don't think that.
That's the thing. Like, I've gotten into a couple arguments over DM, and that shit is always fun to me because it's like, oh, so I'm the only black person that you know, and I'm not even fully black. But you need somebody to talk shit with, so I'll take it.
Right.
And one of the things that always comes up is like, well, we've made so much progress, and it's like,
we've
made false progress with like civil rights shit.
Right.
Because we went from fully having slavery to having now the 13th Amendment, so we have like slavery kind of tucked in the corner. And then we had a whole civil rights movement, and then once that was over, they were like, yep, problem solved. And yet every fucking other year we have situations spark up where we're like, oh, wait a minute, nobody is happy right now.
Right.
Nothing is realistically changed because all these systems are so deeply rooted in racism and shit.
Right.
But it is the same cycle every time where, you know, there's a problem, there are protests, people get burnt out, and something politically changes slightly so that people stop giving a fuck for 4 years.
Well, so what do you think, like, and it's like, me being white, it's like, I don't know what the fuck, I can't, like, I don't feel, I can't, well, no, I can't feel the way, like the way you feel, right? I could see it, but I can't, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I know what it's like to be a dirty white kid, but that's about it, you know what I mean? I know what it's like to be a dirty white kid, but, like,
I've never been black.
Well, I've never been black, so, right? So, like, so that being said, like, with, and don't get me wrong, I think, like, poor white Americans should, like, I mean, I think they need to get looked at, too, as well. I mean, just seeing, because, like, dude, I have cousins, I have shit, you know what I mean, just down the line. But, like, what do you think that the black community deserves? Like, what do you think? And not even just saying, because, like, equal rights, well, that's what everyone's been fighting for forever. Like, specifically, do you think there's something that the black community needs? Kind of like, I don't know. Like, I see, I can't even say it. Like, what do you think the black community, like, deserves from the government specifically? Like, what do you think?
So, you brought up we want equal rights. I think we technically have equal rights. We want equal opportunities.
Right.
And I don't think that the solution is any sort of like handout to black people. Like, here's $1,000, shut the fuck up.
Right.
I think that things like the criminal justice system.
Shut up.
That's money.
Yeah.
10,000.
Which I never think that works in general because
it would never work.
No, it wouldn't work because you're not fixing the root of the problem. You're not fixing a community. You're just saying, here's money. Because, like, you give me $1,000, I'm gonna go blow it on some stupid shit. That has nothing to do with race. That has something to do with me being me. You can't just give anyone money for being something, for being short, for being black, for being whatever. It's not gonna, like, it's. I don't think that would ever work. Like, see, that's what is the tricky thing is, like, and that's why I always ask, like, just honestly, that's why I ask black people. I'm gonna be honest. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you feel is like you deserve? Like, what do you think? Specific little things that need to change. Like, what could happen?
It is a necessary, complete rethinking of the criminal justice system and social systems that actually want to help black people get out of poverty and impoverished situations. Because, like, if you go down to the simple shit, like where black people were not technically forced, but forced to live, or where they are throwing crack into black communities and weapons into black communities, the American system, the people that were empowered to set these things in stone knew that they were fucking this community over for generations. So the only way that these things can be solved is by going to the fundamental root of the issue. And that's the problem, is that it is so deep rooted that, like, to me,
really
the
hard
best case scenario is civil war. Like, the best case, I'm serious, the best case scenario is that shit sparks the fuck up and America breaks down into like 50 different countries because we're trying to do so much from a massive fucking country standpoint. And yes, we have the power of the state, but it doesn't do enough where like we're still under the entire hood of the United States of America. Like if we want to solve these problems, it has to break down into smaller areas. And like the police are a direct derivative of slave patrol. Like it's the same shit throughout history. There's a reason these systems are racist. It's because that's what they were built on.
Right.
When slavery was abolished, they lost so much money because they were getting this free labor. So they had to figure out a new way to make money off of black people.
Right.
That's what slave patrol was. They would basically just find black people that were out doing their own thing and arrest them for some petty shit, make money off of it, and put them into a prison and get free labor out of them again. Like it's so, like especially in a country where weed is slowly being legalized, and now white people are making a shit ton of money off of weed when black people are still facing life sentences for having an eighth in their fucking car.
Right, it's ridiculous.
Like, it's just so fundamentally broken that there is no handout. There is no like just small solution to these problems.
Right.
It's so much deeper than
what people think.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing is like, so if it broke down into 50 different countries, like, wouldn't that be like? Do you feel like that'd be more segregated? You really think that might be a solution to?
Well, I feel like that's a solution because some states are not a good place for minorities to be.
100%, right.
Like, if we had 50 different options, or let's say some states combine and shit like that, so let's say there's 40 different countries.
Do you think that's realistic, though?
In America, I hope that with our generation that is something that's realistic, but if it's not, I'll probably bounce over to
the
Europe.
Cool state. Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, if it did happen, like, people would be like, well, I'm going to go to this state because it's more... Yeah, exactly.
You want to be around people that give a fuck about your person. You know?
Yeah, but do you think long-term that might make people... I mean, either way, but I don't know. You think people would, like, try... Like, I don't know. I don't know. I have no fucking... I really got to think about that. Because I never even thought of that happening, honestly. Until you... So I would have to fucking... I don't know, man. I always think, like, because I always think about... This is the shit I do always think about, right? And it's like, I always think, like, dude, fund schools, fund communities, invest into black businesses, invest into small businesses, right? Invest into just, like, it, I don't know, dude. I always feel like it's like, I don't understand why people, like, the government can't look... Well, I do understand, but you get what I mean. Like, you can't be like, okay, clearly these people are suffering, right? We know they are. So why can't we do something to help, as in, let's invest in their business, let's invest in their community, let's make their schools just as good as the Catholic white school over here, the private school over here, you know what I mean?
Sense, the problem with that is that every single system would have to be in with that. That is like the federal government and state governments and...
But it seems like such a moral thing to do.
And it does. You would think that, like, at some point people would be like, we've been mean for a while.
That's pretty good.
We should give them a fucking break.
Right. Well, and weed being legal is like a big... Because, okay, so Colorado, for example, I know that Colorado... I don't know how they distributed it, but I know them making weed legal... They put all the taxes on that money and give it back to the schools, the like lower income schools, like those communities. So obviously that would have been black communities.
Right.
So obviously that I don't know how much that helped out. I haven't been to Colorado. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Right. But I'm like, I always thought, like, okay, if they made weed legal, everyone's gonna be smoking weed. Like the taxes on that. If you took specifically, like, hey, let's make a plan. Because, like, you know, when they were talking about, remember when, this is funny, when Lil Wayne was like, well, actually, no, Ice Cube was talking about the whole platinum plan. Remember that?
I do not.
You don't remember that? So, Ice Cube planned, I specifically don't know, but, like, Ice Cube was saying, like, because people were giving Ice Cube flack about, like, conversing with Trump about something, but Trump goes, or Ice Cube is like talking. He's like, no, this is what I presented a platinum plan, specifically a plan built for the black community. I talked with both parties, just whoever wins, right? And he's like, but one party accepted it over the other, which I was like weird. I was like, why the fuck would Trump do that over Biden? Like, I feel like Biden would. So I don't know exactly what happened. I'd have to look into it more. And I think, but anyways, like, if whatever that plan was, thinking that in my head logically, and like I'm fucking stupid, so I don't like know how shit works, but like, wouldn't it make sense if you took like here okay, we make all this amount of tax revenue off of weed, right? Maybe all this shit, right? Wouldn't we take all of that, right? Because before weed wasn't legal, now weed's legal, so the tax revenue for that is new. Wouldn't it make sense to take that and put it specifically in the black community? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. That's not what's happening.
No, that's not what's happening, but like, that would be a pretty dope. I feel like that'd be a dope idea.
But
I feel like
what I'm saying is, like, say that happens, then we still have a broken criminal justice system.
Right. That doesn't fix that. Right.
Let's say we solve that, break it down to the core, and rebuild it from the base. You solve that, then we have the problem of like the fundamental issues of the education system. Putting more money into a school will not mean that we are necessarily getting the education that we deserve.
Right.
So that's why I think like it really needs to be broken down to the core.
Right.
Like we're so far lost that it feels like we're just drowning with no escape.
Right.
It has to be something massive, and it can't just be something that we vote into place.
Right.
Like people have to get active.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
You could say that like voting will eventually make changes, and it will, but until people give a fuck about voting on the local level, the state level, all that shit.
Because that shit matters more than anything.
That's what matters way more than a presidential election every 4 years. If you think that like writing a blue or red person every 4 years is going to eventually solve these problems, like we're not going anywhere.
Right. Well, see, and that kind of actually backs you up on the 50 different countries thing, because if you think about it, like, okay, well, that would be a good argument for you, as in like, well, if you think about it, voting the state means more than voting for the presidency. So if we had 50 different countries,
you see those changes much faster too, because like you vote for a president, it takes at least their first 100 days for them to start even making moves, and beyond that, like they're not doing what they actually want to be applying to.
You might be onto something, man. You might have me onto something.
Until their like last 2 years of their presidency.
Right.
But again, like even if America never breaks down, that is the most important thing is voting at the local level. And actually, see, this is a privilege though, is being able to pay attention to who to vote for and what they want to apply to your community. That's something that most people don't have time to do.
Right.
Like I personally barely have time for my own personal projects right now because I'm working 40 hours a week at a fucking gas station, so I can pay rent.
Quick Trip. That is a prime gas station, sir.
Okay, it's not just any.
It's not. You shut the fuck up.
More than a gas station. I'm trying to keep.
Brought to you by Quick Trip. You're gonna get me sponsored by Quick Trip, bro.
Dude, fuck. They need to sponsor me.
I love Quick Trip. Fuck Casey's. Actually, I like Casey's. I like the pizza, but you know.
I don't like any Quick Trip food anymore because like.
Oh, you work there? Yeah. Fuck no. Ugh. That's. I can't. Dude, this one dude, this like stoner, the stoner white dude, long hair, was like, he was high as fuck, and he gave me one of those, those flatbread. Not to get off topic, but he gave me one of those flatbreads, and I ordered it, and he gave it to me. He goes, "Hey, I hooked you up with sauce." Would you fucking nut on it? Like, what the fuck are you? I was like, dude, what the fuck? And I fucking took a bite, and he just like globbed the most amount. I was like, is this a fucking prank? I came back in, I was like, hey, bro, I get you're trying to be cool, but that was not a G move, bro. This is disgusting. Yeah, it was at Chipotle's house. I was like, bro,
Okay,
you just
I
slimed
don't
me
know
with
why,
this.
but within Quick Trip employees, that shit is like the holy mecca. That Chipotle sauce, but like to put too much on it.
No, it was way too much. I was like, bro, I like a little, like, what the fuck? I can't even taste my sandwich. I was like, I got mad. I came back in. I was a Karen, bro. I was like, fuck you.
Sometimes you gotta go Karen.
Sometimes I want to speak to your manager. You know what this motherfucker did? Listen here, Dick Van Dyke, okay? I don't even know what that means, but... No, but, dude, I do think you're onto something. Because, like, that's the first time I ever heard of... I've heard of, like, Texas wanting to break off and be their own fucking country, like they've talked about for years or whatever. That's the only state that's like, well, we're going to make our own... I heard California as well. Yeah, that's right. I heard California. But, California's looking rough right now, man. Yeah. It's looking rough. It's crazy.
COVID, and they've been having issues with water and air quality and shit like that.
Right. Which is weird because I thought they were the most like eco-friendly.
Our world is just so fucking
crazy,
screwed up.
Yeah, everyone's like 2021 is gonna be better. I'm like, what line? Like, are you dividing? It's the same shit.
Yeah, people are gonna get smacked real hard New Year's Day when they realize they're still in pain. Like,
when the meteors come down,
and you're like, wait a minute, I still can't like go to a concert or anything.
Right.
Like, what's different? What is changing when you cross this New Year line? People have to realize that the problem is not COVID. The problem is like the society that we live in right now.
Right.
And our like idea of a solution. I also think that like COVID is like the fucking warning shot because we got lucky with this virus. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I thought it was
something that like
turn us into zombies.
Skin starts melting and you just die all of a sudden. Or maybe we didn't get lucky and we have no idea what COVID does 10 years from now.
Right.
Like it could be the kind of thing where like you had COVID and couldn't taste shit for a couple weeks and then you turn 30 and you just drop dead.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Like you're like,
hey
son, hey son, or you just fucking get like fucking mutated. Maybe it makes me buffer. That'd be cool. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I had COVID back in 2020, bro. It's 2030. Look at that shit.
The anti-maskers become the most powerful force.
Look at that shit. Do you think that I think it's so ridiculous when people say that China started the virus to hinder Trump's election or whatever, but which I don't agree with. I think that's fucking stupid. But do you think that it could have came from a fucking lab and it like broke out possibly?
Dude, you never fucking know. In
you know what I mean?
World, like,
I don't think anything about like it has not. I don't think it has anything to do with elections. So anyone who wants to try to no, I don't think it has anything. But I'm never like married to my ideas, as in like it could have came from a fucking lab and someone in China was like, oh fuck, god damn it, no, and then
I like to think in the path of least resistance. Like most likely, it really is just something that came from nature.
Right. A bat or a pangolin.
Whatever.
Did you watch the South Park?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, it was great. It was so great.
I don't doubt it, bro. I know they stay spot on with the current.
Oh, dude, it was like, I always loved South Park. I think like maybe for a while, I didn't like the couple seasons. I wasn't like I was like, ugh. But like the past 2 seasons, I've really loved. But like this pandemic special they had was like. Because it was just spot on of how everything is. Just, you know how South Park likes to exaggerate it, but like it honestly wasn't even exaggerated. I was like, that's how everything is,
they
man.
Make it, like nerve-wracking, like oh god, this is the world we live
Right.
in.
Well, it's so funny. I'm not even gonna take because I don't want to spoil it for you because it's so fucking good. So I won't even say anything. I can't.
Is South Park on streaming?
Do you have HBO Max? Dude, I'm gonna be honest. HBO Max is the shit. It is the move. I think so because I don't know how the fuck my mom got it. I think she got some package because I just look on my thing. I was like, oh, we got HBO Max. What the fuck? All right. And they got like cool ass like I like those dark sci-fi movies. They got like I watched Prometheus today. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I have actually.
That movie's G, dude. Because I like aliens and Predator and shit like that. Right. But Prometheus is cool as fuck. I watched that today, and then I watched The Thing. You ever seen that?
I have not.
It's pretty cool. It's like It's kind of like, well, because they made an old 1940s ones, which was like dog shit, and then they remade it with Kurt Russell in like the 80s, which from what I remember as a kid, it was cool, but I was a kid, so. But they made they made this one in 2011, and I watched. It was pretty cool because like they find this fucking spaceship, and then they find a frozen alien, and then the ice starts melting, and then the fucking alien comes out, and they like fry it, and they think they killed it, but like the cells got on somebody, and the chick who like everyone should have been listening to, like. It's always the chick who's like, no, don't do that. And then, shut up, woman. You don't know what you're talking about. And then, like, everything goes to shit because they didn't listen. That's what happened is, like, she looks into this little telescope and, like, she sees the cells, leeching onto, like, the human's blood cells and, like, duplicating it. So they're, like, it was kind of a little cheesy how quick they figured it out because I feel like you wouldn't figure it out that they were like, oh my god, they could duplicate us, and so that's what the whole thing is. Like they didn't know, they're all like, who's the alien? So like random people would turn into this fucking alien. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool ass movie. That part was corny, but yeah. But HBO Max is the fucking movie. They just put Wonder Woman on there, which I didn't like. I don't like DC that much anymore, so.
I actually heard that Wonder Woman was pretty good.
That's what everyone said. So I just couldn't get into. I wanted something dark today. I was in a dark mood, so I couldn't do it. Yeah, I gotta get in my feels, I guess. Well, cause like it was like it didn't match my mood, so I was like, this is too bright and shining. So yeah, but no, HBO Max has South Park, so it is the fucking move if you want to watch South Park.
Dude, right now I've got Hulu.
Hulu's the shit.
It's got the anime I need. That's all I got.
Dude, people love anime. I never got into it. I like Spirited Away. That was a cool ass movie.
It's easy to sleep on, especially because like a lot of anime is presented as some fucking bullshit. Like I see ads for other shows that I don't watch, and it's like they present like a character with massive tits and some squeaky ass voices and just the most weird shit.
Yeah,
ever.
they do that.
Yeah, and you're like, I could never possibly give a fuck about it, and I could see how like people that don't watch it are like, this shit is whack.
I was always that. I was like, fuck anime. I don't want to watch that. But then I took an IB film class in high school, and we were like, we're gonna watch Spirited Away. I was like, oh god. And I watched it. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Dude, the Japanese are just really good at like storytelling and character development and shit like that.
They are.
So like anybody that's watching this, because I know this motherfucker doesn't watch anime. Hunter x Hunter, absolute fucking banger. I'm watching. What the fuck is it called? Demon Slayer right now.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer is fucking insane.
Is it dope? I'm gonna check it out. I'll get into it.
Yeah, bro.
I'll get into it.
Watch the first 2 episodes. I promise you'll be like interested.
Fuck yeah.
Straight up.
Fuck
Demon
yeah.
Slayer is crazy, and it came out like 2 years ago or something like that. So the animation is very like modern, and they have like 3D mapping and shit. It's so fucking cool. Visuals are insane. All that shit.
Yeah.
Smoke some weed. Watch that. Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
That's as good as it gets.
Oh shit.
As long as you can read subtitles.
I watched this one where it's called like RBZ, RBKZ. It was like initials, and it was like this guy. He's just like a black figure that like can expand, but he's so different. It's weird because he's like different from everyone else in his neighborhood. Like because everyone's like looks like a normal person, and he's just like this. Like he looks like a shadow basically, but he can like expand and like shit. And I watched it. It was pretty fucking cool. Like it was a dope ass. But that's the only other anime I watched, and I thought it was really cool. I can't. God damn it! I wish I could. I always forget it. It's like some initials, but it was really cool. And the ending was dope. I was like, like you said, this really Japanese are really good at storytelling. I actually got this book about some Japanese warrior, and it's hard for me to interpret it because I guess the book was interpreted from old Japanese to new Japanese, to old English, to new English. So it's like, in the beginning of the book, I didn't read it because they were like, when I say this means that. Like, I'm just trying to interpret the best I can. And I read it, and the story about this guy is like, it's about a real like swordsman, and it's his story about just fucking being a G and never being undefeated and fucking killing people. I was like, that's awesome. So it tells a story, and then after that, it's his 7 different. I think it's 7 like different strategy. It's a book about strategy. It's how he breaks down strategy for everything: business, fighting, farming, everything. And I was like, this is really cool. It's like it's about fundamentals of just life. So I thought it was really cool, but COVID, fuck, dude, god damn it. You're spreading it. I have the antibodies, don't worry. That's what everybody says. Isn't that what Trump said? I have the antibodies. Probably. I have the antibodies.
Take a shot at some Lysol.
You know what's so funny? Someone said this. It was fucking hilarious. It was like, I like how Trump's not for abortion, but he probably got shot up with like a million different dead fetuses to get rid of COVID, like for what is it called? Stem cells or whatever.
Yeah. Oh god, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think stem cell research is crazy. I think it's awesome. I'm really into that. I'm really getting into that. I would do it because I got some fucking aches.
Some back ouchies.
I do, and I need to fucking put some dead fetuses in my back to fucking heal it up, man.
Oh man.
That's what I was talking about this. That's one thing Republicans drive me fucking nuts about is the abortion thing. Not because I can understand both sides, right? I'm for abortion because whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it's one thing is it's not our choice. 2, it's like, well, no. Republicans drive it into the fucking ground. Well, they just want to kill babies and this. And I'm like, hey, dude, can we focus on something more else? Like something that doesn't something. Can you talk about something else instead of because they always bring up every debate. It's like the abortion.
That shit cracks me the fuck up, bro. I was having a political discussion with this dude. And,
was it like a debate?
It was.
Oh,
it got
heated?
heated.
Oh yeah, I want to hear it.
Dude, I
did you
enjoyed
win it?
Nobody wins.
Nobody ever wins an argument, man.
I should have known from the beginning. He was wearing like a polo shirt and a vest over it.
Shit.
I'm talking to a fucking wall right now.
Yeah,
but there was
that's
one
awful.
point where I made a really good point and he didn't really have anything to say to refute, and he was like, "Well, abortion," and I was like, "Okay, well, you fucking lost."
It always goes back. I was like,
It's
yeah.
they have to figure out some way to loop that in there. It's like, bro, you completely lost the point of this discussion.
Right. It's like they could be talking about the economy, and then they're
killing babies.
I was like, what did that have to do with the economy, dude?
Also, if you really want to act like you care about fetuses, care about humans that come from fetuses.
Yeah, right.
You
or
care more about,
an actual baby, not, you know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Care about their development, and then maybe we can stop. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're feeding people fucking shit. I'm so big on that, man.
No,
dude,
it is ridiculous.
You are pretty close, or you're close to Sawyer, right? Yeah. Dude, I love, because he was my coach, so I fucking love that guy. I thought he hated me for a while, and then I worked out with him, and he was like, that's what's up. I was like, all right, dude. But he had he was talking, he's like, and not to get all conspiracy on you on his story, this was a long time ago, he's like, but when you eat that junk, the additives in there, it's addicting. It makes you want to come back for more.
That's how your gut works. Is it gets used to whatever biome you're giving it. So,
right.
If you consistently eat, candy, drink soda, and chips and all that shit, your body is used to that and it wants and craves that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you eat a salad and bananas and shit like that every day, your body will be fucking fueled by these things 10 times more than the bullshit that you're eating.
100%.
And of course, the fast food sells and advertises like fucking hotcakes.
Right.
So it's so easy to.
Don't get me wrong, it is fucking good, and I like some fast food.
I can't lie, I am addicted to Taco Bell right now.
Taco Bell is fucking crazy good,
I don't know why.
It's so good. Every time I bring up Taco Bell, my Mexican friends are like, "Oh, shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Okay, don't get me wrong.
Not Mexican food.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm like, dude, I'm not arguing. Because I used to hate Taco Bell, and then a couple friends got me on. I was like, dude, Taco Bell is delicious.
It is.
But every time I say it's delicious, my Mexican friends are like, really, bro? We just went to Benito Michoacan or Taco on Wheels, and you're talking about that.
That's real, man.
I'm like, well, yeah, which I like 100 million times better than Taco Bell. But man, I'm drunk one night. I want to get some fucking Taco Bell.
Kind of bro. It's
yeah, it's Americanized bullshit. Yeah, like everything else. It's like a burger. Like McDonald's isn't a real burger. If I want a real burger, I go get a real burger, Go to Grandstand, man.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I went to Red Robin. I've never, I wanted to fucking kill myself, dude.
I can't think of the last time I was at Red Robin.
Red Robin. Dude, yuck. Dude, fuck. I took the biggest shit for the past 2 days. I'm like, oh my God, I almost shit my pants. I was like, fuck this. This is what happened. Me and my buddy are driving home from work, and I was like, hey, bro, you want to get a salad? Because they got this place called Dr. Green's. Don't get me wrong, the delicious ass salads. Like, they cooked salmon, put it in there. They're gourmet salads. They're expensive.
Right.
And, like, maybe one day you want to spend some money, but I would have spent the same amount on that salad that I did on fucking shitty ass Red Robin. Actually, I would have spent less on that for something that I would have fucking felt good about. You know, maybe my six pack come in. And I was like, hey, he's like, I'm feeling a burger. I was like, all right, you're feeling a burger? I'll get some sweet potato fries. I won't feel like shit.
Right.
So I said, well, Red Robin's right there. I was like, well, let's get Red Robin. We go to Red Robin. Bro, and they keep giving you fries, like, because you get unlimited fries. And I was like, I remember I was eating, I was like, they give you unlimited fries, dude. And I was like, wait, I thought you had to finish your meal. First, I thought you had to finish your meal, and then they give you more. No, they just throw it on the table, you finish that, because they give you, like, enough to where you can just run through it. Dude, they just train you with these fucking fries, bro. I'm like, no, stop. I told them. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, stop. I don't want any more fucking fries. They kept giving me more fries. And, like, they were delicious. But by the time we got our foods out, which, by the way, we got our food out in, like, 30 seconds. So I was like, what the fuck is in this? Because that should not have taken you. A good burger does not take 30 seconds to make. That is not you. That shit was sitting out. You warmed it out. Yeah. So we get this burger, and me and my friend look at each other. We're like, I'm full. We took like 4 bites. It was the slimiest, grossest. Literally felt like I was eating a booger, bro. And it was just disgusting. I almost puked, bro. I said, bro, the waiter came by. How's the food? I was like, bro, I was like, fuck off, man. Like, you're a piece of shit working here, man. That's not his fault, but whatever. I felt, dude, I felt like shit.
Never once have I been in a restaurant where they're like, how's the food? And I'm like, man, that shit is trash.
Oh, dude, you got a family member that does that? That fucking bitches at the waiter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my dad is the worst, bro.
Really? Hey,
He's
sometimes
the
you gotta
worst.
let him know.
You gotta let him know sometimes, but
because there's like a gap of communication. Like, you're talking to somebody that's just waiting tables, and the person that fucked it up is in the kitchen, like, fingering their butthole while making your food.
Dude, no, my dad is fucking awful. He rips him a new one every time. I'm like, Dad, stop! I get so mad, and I tell him, I'm so sorry, dude, because my dad is always trying to get a free meal, man. I'm like, dude, you're such a piece of shit, bro.
Dude, the thing is, like, you can pretty much get one every time if you're willing to be an asshole.
He is willing to be an asshole every time. He is, dude. Let me tell you this story. One time we went to Pee Wee's. It's called Payways, I think. Payways or Pee Wee's. Yeah, Payway. And he called it. First off, he called it Pai Tai, and I'm looking for Pai Tai. And I call this motherfucker. I'm like, hey, asshole, Pai Tai is what you get. Is the meal that you get there. It's not the name of the place. Not everything's the name of the place that you get, you fucking idiot. Anyways, I shouldn't be talking about my dad like that. I love you, man. But we go there. Luke. That's it. Luke. No, he can't hear. He'd be Luke. What? Anyways, so we go, and this dude accidentally, like, he barely touches my dad with a chair. My dad's like, oh my God, I'm like, I was like this. I was like, bro, stop. And he's like, my shit, my shoulder. My dad goes to the bathroom. The guy's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then they come over. They give us, like, coupons. They give us 50% off. And then my dad goes to the bathroom. And then when my dad goes to the bathroom, the guy's like, man, I'm so sorry about your dad. I was like, my dad's an asshole. You're good. You're fine, bro. I tipped him so big. My dad's like, oh, you're tipping this guy so much. I'm like, because you're a dick, dude. Because you're a dick. And I love my dad. He's not a dick. But when we go out to eat, my grandma was the same way. My grandma was 20 times worse. It was horrible, dude. She sent the food back like 4 times. I was like, we're getting spit in our food. I was like, I'm glad I already got I'm always glad I get my food first because before him, because I will get spit in my food from that guy.
Dude, I will say, like, working in food service, because that's something that I didn't really think about when I signed up for Quick Trip, is that I'm also working at a fucking fast food restaurant.
Yeah, you are, for sure.
Half the time.
That's how they start you out, too, huh?
Dude, it sneaks up on you. But, like, people crack me the fuck up. I'm lucky enough to have like a good sense of humor about this kind of shit. Because like my managers will get all pent up about angry customers, and I'll just be like laughing my ass off about it.
Right.
This woman came in on Christmas, and it was packed as fuck. I was expecting it to be slow, but then I realized like Quick Trip is one of 2 places that are open.
Right.
So we were getting murdered, and like there are like 8 orders on the screen that we have to make, and other ones like overlapping and shit like that. And this woman gets one of our like fucking latte drinks, and I was like, "Here's your drink." She takes a sip. She's like, "It doesn't taste like it normally does."
Bitch, this ain't
I was
Starbucks.
like, "Actually, it comes from a machine. It's always the exact same. Like we can't fuck it up."
Right.
And she was like, "Well, this doesn't have as much caramel in it. I put 2 more pumps of caramel in that bitch." She was like, "It still doesn't taste as good."
You just dump the whole thing in there. How's it taste now, bitch?
Yeah, no, I was kind of laughing. My manager was like, "Give her a coupon." I was like, "Okay, whatever." Gave her the fucking coupon, and like she goes back and she's like, I expect a new one to be made. We made a new one. It's the same fucking machine, so it tastes the same." And like she continues to bitch, and I'm just like, at that point, I am just cracking the fuck up, and it was just a lost cause. She was like, "I want my refund."
Dude,
like, whoa, it's too late.
Being a waiter, you know, talking to like, because you don't know what to expect with people, right? It could be like you come up to them, talk to them, their tone of voice. The first 30 seconds of you taking their order, you already know. Is this going to be someone
I can see
cool?
it in their eyes.
Oh,
I
I can see.
faces anymore. I can just see somebody walks in, and I'm like, they're about to buy some Newports and be mad at me.
Buy some Newports and be mad at you. Jesus Christ.
Let me get two scratch-off tickets and a black and mild. Like, you're having a bad day.
Yeah, you stressed having a black and milds are the shit. They're addicting.
Yeah, they're kind of nice.
You like black and milds?
I don't love them, but they hit every once in a while.
I fucking
The
love
only
them.
way to take a 15-minute break. The only way to take a break in general at
Is to
Quick Trip
smoke?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which is not legal. I don't know how they get away with it, because like if you work a 6-hour shift at any job in America, you're allowed a 15-minute break at some point.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
The only way to get a break at Quick Trip is if you take a smoke break.
Right.
Sometimes I'll be like, it's black and mild time.
It's black. Yeah, dude, they hit fucking good. 'Cause I don't like. I admit I had a cigarette thing for a while, but yeah, I never smoked Newports though.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
no.
They smoke too fast. They go away.
Is that really? I've never smoked them before. I didn't know that. I know, like, dude, this dude at work not too long ago had like the thickest cigarette. He gives it to me. I'm like, dude, I can't even like puff this thing. He's was all fucked up. He's like, yeah, bro, these things are crazy. He's like, how do you, he had it in his pocket. He's like, how do you know these are called? I was like,
dead.
Jesus Christ,
Give
dude.
me the fattest cigarette y'all got.
Right. Yeah. Nah, dude, but it's crazy. You can definitely see it in their eyes, especially with working with food. It is 100% the worst thing. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Hey, I did the dishes. It might be a little messy in there. I'll clean it up once I get done. I promise. Okay.
So proud of you.
Yeah, I gotta, because I don't want her coming down and fucking be getting bitch slap on my podcast. Get my ass whooped on the podcast. Yes, I don't give a fuck.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna get the fuck out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting out. Yeah, dude. But no, dude. What's it called? Not to go back to what we were talking about, but dude, I think you had some pretty good ideas, man. I'm not even gonna lie, because that's the first.
I have a lot of time to overthink shit. That's just the way that my brain works.
I'm sorry if I keep going back to this, but the whole 50 state thing, and I don't mean to annoy you with it, but it just, you're good. I know, I'm a genius. So, I never thought of it, and the only reason why, I always, because, when someone brings up an idea, I try to bring in, okay, what if this goes wrong, this goes wrong, but, the more I think about it, the more I want to look into it and think of the possibilities of it happening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what kind of changes would lead to
It actually make, right?
But I see that as, that's something that Rowan and I talked about all the time when we were roommates at K-State. That America just needs to dissolve and break down into smaller countries and solve problems at a more local level.
Right.
Because, bro,
I agree 100%.
Most European countries are the size of one American state.
I was going to bring that up. Europe is approximately the same size as America, right? But they have.
It's even smaller.
Oh, it's smaller, right? But it's smaller, but it's they have countries, right?
Right,
They have
right.
countries, so it's like they can, which is why they have like the open border. Wait, do they still have open borders or no?
I have no
I think it's just open if you are European. I think, but
idea.
probably I'm guessing. But so that's the thing is like Europe does it, so why can't we have like like different countries instead of just states?
Control.
Control.
They want as much control.
Well, but and see that's the thing is like okay, so if you bring that idea up to like Democrat or Republican, like the whole solely based of being Republican is small government. They would be, they should be 100% for that.
And Democrats will be with it too because
You think so?
Yeah, man. I feel like the biggest thing to me is that if that happened, each state would become more and more different. And if you were not with the way that your state is, you could just move.
Move, right? Yeah, and it'd be open borders within your
Right,
country, within
exactly.
your continent, I guess. Well,
right, country. It would-
country.
or- and
I don't. What would that even be? Because Mexico is part of our continent, right?
Right.
And Canada, so
there would still be something uniting the states. Maybe not, but you know,
There'd have to
There
be.
would be some loopholes.
there would have to be. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Because it's like, man, that's so crazy. I don't know, man. That's yeah. Republicans would totally be. Yeah. I don't. Well, because that's one thing is like the whole. It's the small government versus big government thing, which is like never. You know what I've noticed is like it's never brought up anymore because I think most people want smaller control of the government. But like you don't obviously you wouldn't identify as a Republican thinking that way. That's just a
Right,
different
yeah.
way. That's just a way of thinking. And I think someone said it. Someone who used to be Republican who was famous was like, I'm not Republican anymore because I like small government, and I got away from that. Or not away from the small government. I got away from the party because he's like I feel like both parties are whack now, but
Yeah.
he's like I consider myself libertarian because I'm getting away from my party not really believing in small government. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like the Democratic and Republican parties now are less like political parties and more like social.
100%. Yeah, 100%,
It's
dude.
not. It's really not a like solid way of seeing like how somebody actually feels about the country. It is more of like this is what you were raised in. This is the group that your mom told you you're in. And like
Right. Do you feel like you broke away from that a little bit?
I don't identify in a party.
Right,
I don't know,
but,
I don't
like,
do
you're-
enough research on politics to know where I would lie regardless.
But not even that. Not even that. Not political. Like your ideologies from your parents. Do you feel like you broke away somewhat from your parents, or do you think
yes,
it's
I feel like I have thought for myself quite a bit.
Really?
I don't think that it is necessarily like a rebellious nature to like avoid
Right.
what they feel, but I don't directly conform to like what my mom says.
right? Yeah, I love growing up. That's like the biggest thing is like,
It's fun.
You
to,
think- yeah, you're
start
like-
thinking for yourself.
you know, that doesn't make any sense. And then when you
Yeah.
argue with them about it, they're like, well, but, and then I'm like, I feel like I have a valid point. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Dude, that's the thing about our generation is like we have this incredible stream of information, and most other generations will dismiss what we have to say because we're young, but like we know quite a fucking bit, and our brains are still developing. So like I'll find myself in discussions with people in their 40s, or like my mom is 50, and they fall into these traps of like using the same sorts of arguments every time, but they can't really hold their own in these discussions when like we really do have an insane amount of information going by us every single day.
Right.
And we have very different ideologies of where this country or where this world can go, that they couldn't even begin to perceive.
Right. I noticed. So I noticed this. You were because earlier you said, and I wanted to bring this up, but like it didn't fit what I wanted to ask. So you said something about like people in their 40s like thinking differently, clearly thinking differently than us, right? That's one thing I noticed like growing up, and like I'm generalizing completely, but from what I've noticed of people, and I don't like specifically 40s, like people who've been in their 40s like most of my life, like, and now are like ending in their 40s, like right now. So that group of people, right? I've noticed it's either they're super, and like I said, I'm generalizing. I notice it's like very judgmental or very open.
Right.
Do you think that too?
Yes. No.
I've
and
noticed
I,
that.
I feel like I know what it is. It is that there are some people that at some point in their life they were heavily humbled by the new way that the world thinks, and there's some people that are too stubborn to admit that they're wrong.
Right.
Like that's one of the biggest things, in my opinion, that is wrong with our functioning society today is that people are just not willing to admit that what we're doing is not working.
Right. Right.
So there are those hard-headed 40-year-olds that are like, no, my ideas are still right, and they never really came into fruition, so I'm going to be mad until they
Right.
do. And then there's the 40-year-olds that are like, holy fuck, I was wrong, and the entire
Right.
system that I thought that I grew up in was a lie.
Right.
And now I realize that none of us know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I talked about this with Marty one time. We were like, I was like, dude, you know what I noticed? I noticed a lot of people in their 40s specifically are more prejudiced than I feel like. And I'm obviously not more than like people in like their 70s and 80s, right? But I don't even mean just by race. I mean by like everything as a whole, like prejudice towards what they believe, prejudice to race, prejudice to younger generations, prejudice to different religions. Like I'm like I notice like and this is like everyone. I'm like I notice like people in their 40s are like I feel like and I remember we were like thinking like I hope we don't get like that. I hope that's not. I hope it's a generation thing instead of an age thing.
Right. I think that is the advantage that we have is like, dude, think about how many different opinions you see every day on like whatever
Wild.
social media.
It's wild.
It's really hard to like have your own opinion and be like, mine is the ultimate correct opinion, and all the 150 different opinions I saw today are completely wrong. At this point, we have to realize that like it is all just opinions, and the willingness to adapt our opinions as we grow is the most important thing when it comes to a growing generation.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I know people even our age that are still stubborn, hard-headed,
Oh,
and
yeah.
not willing to budge a single idea. And I think that is it's mostly dudes that do that, and I think that there's a level of like pride that comes with that.
Oh yeah, guys have a certain amount of pride for sure.
But
My dick and balls are bigger.
yeah, I have a small dick of balls, and this opinion is the only thing that
That's the
I do
only thing
have.
that I do have. It's bigger than my balls. God damn it. And my dick. No. Well, that's okay. So another thing is like when you think of our generation, I see a lot of good because we get shit talked on our generation a lot. So I back it up as in like I do love my generation. I love. I hate saying this word, the wokeness of the generation, right?
Oh yeah, it is.
And of every spectrum, right? But like, do you think that there is, and there's good and bad in every generation, and I do think that there's like, and mainly because of the extremes of like the past 4 years, 5 years, I guess. I feel like it's either like it's good and bad, right? It's like it's either we're woke or we're too woke or we're too not woke. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I guess.
No, I don't know. Do you think that okay? What do you feel like? Like, what is our biggest besides take away like the technology thing? What do you think is our biggest like flaw in our generation?
In our generation are distractions.
Distractions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like in the same way that social media lets us have a very vast view of opinions, it also allows us to get into our pockets and groups of opinions and
Right.
get in that echo chamber where everybody agrees with you.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing is the distractions, our attention span, like we were talking about earlier, and the level of paranoia that we have and like distrust for
100%.
our system.
100%. Yeah.
Which is a fair thing to have. It's still, though, it is still a disadvantage.
Right. Well, it's like you're getting so much information every day. Like you're gonna be paranoid, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like it.
People act like anxiety and shit like that is something very individualized, but like it is generational, 100%.
I
In the
agree.
same way that like depression has seen a rise because of social media, and ADHD is up like 4 times from the last generation.
Right.
And
Right.
you can't directly tie that to social media, but that's exactly what I would argue for.
Right.
Like it is that the mental health, I would say, encompassing everything. That is our biggest disadvantage.
Right. Right. No, I 100% agree. As in, like, we are so like there's so much information, we get so fucking paranoid about just stupid shit that doesn't even matter, and I mean, it's just insane, dude. It's wild.
Well,
It's
the
wild
thing
to
is,
think about.
the stuff that we're getting paranoid about does matter. It's just a matter of like how do we focus on the positive efforts that we can make change.
Right.
Because it's very easy to like be overwhelmed by the world around us and then just not fucking do anything.
Mhm.
And trust me, I've been there 1,000 times. Like after my year at K-State, I had probably 6 months where I was just down in the absolute shit because I was so scared of the world around us in the future.
Right.
And I did nothing.
Right.
But the most important thing to do is, instead of use that and let the fear hold you back, let it push you
Right.
from behind. Because that is, that is something that faces everybody. But the only difference is between people is how do you use that?
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of like what I meant by like the being too woke part is like.
Right.
I think people look at because like when you look at like being woke, like you're looking at like wake up from all the bullshit, and then there's like people that are like, I'm so woke, I know this and that. It's like, well, but you're like, I feel like some people are like they're trying to be more awakened on things that you shouldn't fuel as much. Like a comment.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a comment, right? Like a comment you see on social media. It's like, well, I'm driving into this. I'm really pushing back, like you said, on this
Yeah.
opinion. And it's like, dude, it doesn't fucking matter,
Yeah,
right?
like-
You know what I mean?
Everybody has that energy to like say you are a woke person. Let's say everybody has this energy bar of information that they have and what they want to use it for. If you're going into comment sections on shit that you disagree with and
Yeah, that's
I
not
feel
being
differently about
awakened.
this, you're fucking stupid and you're a dumb idiot. Fuck you.
And those are some of the people who
That's
are like,
half your fucking energy bar,
Right.
bro. Like if you now have a half full energy bar, that the rest of that is going to be used for probably the same shit. But even if you wanted to go out and do shit, you're already at half energy.
Right.
You're just fucking throwing these ideas into the void.
Right.
Somebody, the person that originally comments is going to read your response and be like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Their energy is not consumed by it. You're
100%.
just fucking putting energy into an empty system.
Right, 100%. And I see that in people who are like, I'm so woke, I'm awakened from all this. It's like, you're not if you're doing that, right?
Yeah,
you know what I
bro,
mean?
like,
It's like you're getting sucked into a fucking portal of bullshit, and that's the whole point of being woke.
Talk to me about wokeness when you meditate every day. Like,
I do, dude. That is the best, bro. That is, and you
That's
figure
how
shit
you
out.
actually wake up because it's within your own mind, and you realize that you don't have to be putting your energy into other people's issues because you're so focused on solving the problems in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like this whole year I've been focusing on growth. The number one thing that I recommend to
Awesome.
anybody, meditate.
How long do you meditate for?
I've been doing 15-minute meditations.
Yeah, those are great. I do it before work because if I don't, man.
Dude, it's a superpower. I do it
really
after
is.
work, and I just use it to shake off anything that happened that day.
Oh yeah. I do it before because I have the Calm app. I accidentally
Yeah,
bought
yeah,
it. I didn't mean to
Dude,
buy
they
it.
get you with that shit.
They do because they said free trial and I put my shit in and then I was like,
it for a fucking year.
yeah. And then I looked at it on my card. I was like, motherfucker. I was
Yeah.
like, but I'm glad because I get all this fucking access to all this bullshit that I love. Like,
Are they? Is the Calm app just guided meditations?
Yeah, there's like guided. There's the breathing shit.
Right.
There's the the LeBron James one where he's like talking about because he's the
I
one
saw
who
the
like
ads
sponsored
for
it.
it,
Yeah, he's the one who like is the big sponsor for it. So I listen to his, which is good for I didn't get too much into it, but it's good for it's good for like if you're gonna have a game or you're gonna go to an
like
event.
motivational
Yeah,
shit.
it's more motivational. And there's relaxing ones that he does too, because he has, and I love his fucking voice. And then like they have like Matthew McConaughey on there, and like I was like, fuck yeah, I love Matthew McConaughey. But I tried to listen to it as a bedtime story. I was like, this is kind of stupid, but I was like, you know what, I'll try it. I tried to, but I couldn't listen to it. It was like, we're gonna listen to Wonder, and I was like, I shut it off. I was like, sorry, dude, I love you, but I can't do this today.
No, I would recommend. How long have you been meditating?
I've been doing it for like a year. I go off and on. Like I got addicted to it. Like I got addicted to it. Like I would do it. Like I had to go take a shit. I take a shit. I'd meditate. Like I'd meditate before work, after work, on break, before break. Like I meditated so much because I was so stressed out with my job.
It comes into your life when you really need it.
100%.
I would recommend, because what I do now, I used to do the guided ones. I literally just on YouTube, 15-minute meditation music.
Yeah.
And I'm not even hearing voices in my headphones or anything. It's literally just sounds.
Do you like Bill Burr, the comedian?
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious.
Amazing.
He goes, he lost a sponsor and he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, because he said, he's like, I can't remember what it was on. He's like, I try to meditate, and I do, but, the voices just, they tend to fucking piss me off even more. And they're like, it's not supposed to. He's like, I know, but don't tell me how I'm supposed to do this. I started laughing. But, dude, he's my top 5 favorite comedians, dude, of all time, dude. I love Bill Burr.
Dude, I need more stand-up on Netflix.
Oh, dude, there's this guy I watched the other day. I don't even remember his fucking name. I saved it. I have to find it and send it to you. It was so fucking funny.
Definitely do.
And cause sometimes you ever get watching one, and then you're like, it's like, why did I click on this?
Right.
Like I don't find this guy funny. I got into, and I used to not like European comedians very much because a lot of the jokes I didn't understand, like their terminology and stuff. But I got into Jim Jeffries, if you know him. He's Australian, and he's a storyteller, so he's really fucking good. No, don't get me wrong, like he's not like Chappelle or Bill Burr, or like because dude, you ever watch Delirious or Raw, like Eddie Murphy's stand up?
Yes.
Dude, those are so good. I remember when that came on Netflix, I was like, what, Eddie Murphy? I knew he had stand up, but I was like, oh, dude, I want to watch this. It was in high school, and I watched it like every fucking day. I was like. The shit he said in it, though, I was like, bro, we would not be able to. That would not fly today. I loved it too, though.
Going back to those like 70s, 80s, 90s eras where like any sort of media, movies, music, comedy, whatever the fuck, like all of this shit, you're listening to it today, and you're like,
he said what?
You cannot. What?
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Airplane?
Yeah, I love that movie of Snoop Dogg and shit.
I was watching that the other night. I was like, just like in a single 5-minute clip, you could pick any 5-minute clip and 9 things could be picked out where people would be like, you can't fucking say that about Jewish people.
That's funny.
Such a fucking good movie.
Dude, that is crap. I know. I really hate that the whole thing of, well, you can't make fun of this person. You can't say that, or you can't, it's like, yeah, you can. You just got to do it well.
That's the thing,
You just got to do it well. Like, you're not going to offend anybody if you fucking if you do it well and make people laugh. Like, dude, there was a Bill Burr stand-up, and he was making black jokes, and he was like in Atlanta when I was like, dude, this dude is a great comedian. Yeah, he had balls because all of them were every person in the audience is black, and he was making black jokes, and everyone was fucking dying.
Yeah, bro.
I was like,
that's the damn thing. Like, people act like you can't make race jokes you can't make race jokes, and I'm like, there's a difference.
Racist and race jokes. Yeah, you talked about this last time. Yeah.
That is all it is. It's the same thing with any fucking subgroup of people.
Well, there's no intention. Because
that's the other thing. You can tell immediately when somebody's telling a joke and it's racist.
Racist, like it's like actually trying to hurt that person. Yeah.
It's like it's not actually funny. You're just being a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
But, dude, what the fuck else are we supposed to like chat shit about if it's
Yeah.
not racial or
Well, it's like,
that's the only
Yeah.
thing that we can really delineate between other people is our differences. And
yeah.
shit.
Well, yeah. 100%. Well, that's the thing is like you can't take away, and that's what and going like to the comedian I was telling you about. He was dude, he was fucking calling out like it was hilarious, bro. Because there was just like he was a black comedian. He was making fun of like there's this white dude like the whitest dude like glasses and fucking like had a polo on and like he looked scared as shit. And he was like he's like, hey bro, you know what we mean when we say this? And the guy was like, no. Like I was like, bro, this is fucking. I'm white. I find this fucking hilarious.
Right,
Like
yeah,
if you're white and you're mad at that, go fuck yourself. Because that was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? I'm like,
gotta stick so far up their ass that they can't even tell us there.
yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I love comedy so much, man.
Dude.
I love, dude.
I saw this like political. I guess it's not really political, but it was like a cartoon that was written or drawn in like 2015 or something, and it was like these people in a museum, and it was like 2021, the year that comedy died. It's like, oh,
Facts.
so we're what 2 days away from just no more.
Dude.
Nothing's funny anymore.
You know what though? I think when the like offensive shit, like oh you're offending me, shit came out. I think it's when comedians really, because I've seen a couple clips because I watch podcasts all the time. Comedians being like, honestly, yeah, it sucked because it's like I'm in fear of my job every day because like back then we didn't give a fuck. He's like, but it almost I like it because I amped it up because I want to amp it up.
Right.
And like you know what Joey Diaz is?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, he was like, oh, that shit doesn't apply to me. He's like, I'm fucking 50-something years
bro,
old.
you
He's like,
can't
I'm not gonna
cancel-
change
you can't
now.
Cancel Joey Diaz.
Yeah. God, oh, dude, it's just crazy. Yeah, I'd have to fucking, you gotta show me some people. I'll show you some people on fucking, that I've seen, because I'm always looking for new comedians, because, oh, dude, it's just, like, that's the best thing is, like, I sit down and just watch a stand-up. You know what, last time we were talking, I think you said, like, a Chris Rock, you were quoting Chris Rock, you said you really like Chris Rock.
Yes.
Dude, I loved Everybody Hates Chris as a kid. That was, like, one of my favorite shows, but I never could get too much into his comedy too much. I don't know why. I don't know
feel
why.
like his style has a little bit of like, it's not conventional in the sense of the way that like he repeats shit and like it's kind of more of a performance than just straight jokes.
Yeah, I always
But
like.
I also just think that his voice and his person is just very funny regardless of what he's saying.
He is a funny ass person.
Yeah.
One thing I give him out of it, because like I was never a big fan, but like I still thought he was funny, but I just never got into him as much as like everyone else did.
Yeah.
Like I loved Everybody Hates Chris, but like the one thing I will say is his jokes are super fucking smart.
Yes.
Like yeah, super fucking smart.
I
Like
think that's why like he's like a Kendrick Lamar of stand-up comedy.
right.
Whoa.
Dude, what's Kendrick doing, man? When's he gonna drop something, bro?
I'm telling you, Kendrick's album is gonna cure COVID. That's all
Maybe,
we need.
dude.
That's all we need.
I love
I'm telling
Kendrick,
you, bro.
dude.
The people will be rejoicing in the fucking streets when Kendrick drops.
Right, dude. Kendrick, I watched this with. I don't really listen to him too much. It was with King Crooked and Eminem. Who had this podcast, and Eminem was talking about Kendrick, and he was spot on about him. He's like, the reason why I love him so much is like he can do everything. Like he's like, and when you hook him up and he's about to go like just fucking spit on the mic, you don't know what to
Right,
expect.
yeah. That's the thing.
That's what I love about
want,
him, bro.
I want to think that I have any sort of idea of what a new Kendrick album looks like.
Nah, I
but
don't
in my
want an
head,
idea,
It's
yeah.
literally just a fucking cloud, and I know that it'll be fucking incredible.
Right.
Like I know. I have no doubt in my mind.
Every
that
album I
he
think he's
does.
dropped was a classic, man.
Yeah.
Every album.
Dude, literally, like even Section 80 is.
I love Section 80. I
would-
love that.
I
And
personally
Untitled.
would
And
put it
Untitled.
above Damn.
Really?
Yeah, Section 80
I don't know.
is like.
I think
I've been going back to it so much recently.
that's what are all the songs on there? That's like
It's like Ronald Reagan era, fuck your ethnicity.
oh
High
yeah.
power.
They're in the
Mortis, bro.
Rigor Mortis, yeah,
That
Rigor
shit
Mortis,
is
yeah.
crazy.
And he had the campfire shit, like
Yeah, yeah.
I can see why that's. I love Damn. When Damn came out, I was like,
It's a fun album, but
It's
I
fun.
Think,
It
like,
is very fun.
Cerebral wise, like it.
Well, I think that's because I think he got really criticized for To Pimp a Butterfly, which I love To Pimp a Butterfly.
I think that's one of the best albums of all time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a classic, bro. It's for sure a fucking classic, undeniably. But people didn't. People criticize it because it was too much of like. It's almost like sometimes when Nas drops, people are like, "Oh, it's just too much to think."
Yeah,
right.
I mean, if you're a white person listening to Pimp a Butterfly, there's a little bit of a disconnect there.
But okay. That's the thing is like, someone asked me, I was like, "Do you get offended listening to Pimp a Butterfly?" I was like, "No, I don't think he really like." I mean, I get like where obviously there's a disconnect, but like, I don't know. I just felt like it was someone was like, "Oh, I feel he's talking shit on white people." I was like, I feel like it's kind of, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, he is, but I feel like,
but
well,
it's more like
it's more like the white elites.
It's less talking shit on white people and more like talking proud for black people.
Right. Well, it didn't seem anti-white to me. Like,
That's definitely not. Yeah, it's more about capital and shit like that.
that's what I got from it. Cause like when you hear like, even certain things he says, like I don't like blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, right? Like they were like, well, mainly just that song. I was like, I feel like mainly like they're just talking about like the like capital, the white elites. Like I feel like he's not fucking yelling at me. Like you know what I mean?
And even then,
maybe
if it is even if it is criticism, you can see that it is brilliant.
Right. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. I mean. Whatever. I don't fucking.
I really think like
I might get my feelings hurt. I don't care.
Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the best 3 album runs of all time.
Right.
Like, you could look at Kanye's discography and find three albums in there that are probably like pretty closely matched up. But when it comes to straight hip hop, that is one of the, if not the greatest, 3 album runs.
Right. Did you? How do you feel about Kanye lately?
Dude, he needs to fucking drop. I just want to know where his trajectory is going.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
He did Jesus is King and he did the Sunday Service album.
Did you really like that album?
I honestly did.
Really,
people gave it a lot of shit, but
I thought it was brilliant, but I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as others, but I thought it was brilliant.
It's a great album in the sense that you can't. I put it on and I get into a better mood. I'm not religious.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm more spiritual than anything, but even then, I can listen to it and be like, dude, it is made to boost your mood.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like
for sure.
Rhythms and everything.
See, that's what. Speaking of like religion, I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual, like you said. I like the way you put that because that's how I feel as well. But dude, I believe in the power of prayer nowadays, and I used to not. I used to think everything was bullshit, like totally. Right. But I believe it because I've been praying lately, and if you were to ask me even like 4 weeks ago, I'd be like, no, you know what I mean?
I understand. Dude, there was one time where I was having coffee with this girl, and I talked about how I meditated, and she was like, "What do you mean by that?" I was like, "Oh God." She was like, "So like praying or what?"
No, not at all.
I was like,
totally different.
Well,
maybe.
honestly, it kind of is.
Right.
That to me, it is a very similar, like it holds a similar place in my mind as what prayer would be for somebody that is religious, and that it's time for, because maybe what I'm doing is half prayer, half meditation, in the sense that I am asking questions to the universe and looking for answers. But to me, it is exactly that. It's the universe and not like a conscious being. Right,
dude. Yeah. I had this, so like not too long ago, I had this thing. I did like literally what you said, I did like a half prayer because I started praying, like not too long ago. I started praying and I was like, man, I actually like believe in the power of prayer. Like I feel better. I feel like things are like I'm moving forward. I used to never believe that, but like I meditated and like I literally like as I was meditating, I started like kind of praying, like during the meditation. And it sounds so corny and cheesy, but like,
no, it's the same.
Dude,
it's the same thing.
I fucking felt like it was like nothing other. Like I felt like God was with me. Like if that makes sense, I felt like literally God was in my meditation. Right. Like that sounds so, but literally I felt like lifted. Like it was crazy.
To me, the idea, the like Christian concept of God, to me is you're really just trying to talk to your subconscious.
Right.
Because when you're asking for these things out of your life, you know, whatever the fuck it is, whether it's like good weather or, you know, whatever it is, the only real thing that you possibly be affecting when your eyes are closed and your hands are together and you're asking for these things. You're talking to your subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So like, say you're praying and you're asking like, I pray to find the fucking one for me. Then your subconscious knows that that is what you're looking for, and without you realizing it, you are putting yourself into situations where you will come closer to those solutions.
Right.
Because to me, there's two sides of so there's two ways to look at the universe, and that is the physical way and the way that we perceive it. On the way that we perceive it, there's two sides of it. There is the conscious side and the subconscious side, and that's pretty much it. Like I guess it breaks down into three because it's like conscious, subconscious, and imagination or some shit like that.
Right.
But we don't have control over our subconscious, but we can communicate what we want out of it.
I like that. Yeah.
So that's the way that I see when I'm meditating. I say I'm talking to the universe. Realistically, I'm more just talking to the back of my head that
Right.
I don't have control over, but still affects everything that I do.
Right. Yeah, that's I like that. I like that. That makes so much sense. Like you're telling yourself in the back of your head to do these things without you even knowing, and you put yourself like maybe you go on like a date or like you said, or like you
Right.
go to a fucking Starbucks or just some fucking place where you think you're gonna meet someone, and then you're like, oh, I met someone, or not even just that, like you're just doing certain little things. Cause
Yeah,
like
that you
that's
can't
kind
even
of what I
tell.
was doing.
Yeah. Listen, people, just go meditate. I'm telling you, that's
Dude,
all you need.
have you ever meditated for a super long time, like 30, like an
Yeah,
hour?
yeah.
That shit is wild, man.
Dude, you come out of that and you're like, I don't know how to interact with technology anymore.
Dude, I felt like I didn't feel stress at all. I was like,
dude, that's the craziest shit. Like, you'll meditate and things that would normally invoke stress will just become like, it's just action. Like,
Right.
there was, I did this one meditation and came out of it, and like during the meditation, I had some realizations on shit that I wanted to do. And one of them was I wanted to message this girl. And usually, if I'm about to like initiate a conversation with somebody that I don't really know, it is like, well, what's gonna happen? How's this? Blah 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 blah. I got out of the meditation, went send. I was totally fine with it, and like now she's my girlfriend.
fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
dude.
bro, it's literally like my subconscious was like, that's the one. Go for it.
Right. That's awesome, dude.
No hesitation. Completely calm. Boom.
Right. And it's like weird to even think about like the universe puts you in that situation. Like you told your subconscious to do something like that, but the universe puts you in a situation where it's like you fucking knew. Like I know which one to pick. Yeah.
My subconscious knew that
Right.
was the one.
Because you would be like maybe this one, this one. No. Boom. You know exactly what you want, dude.
And it was very clear to me. I was,
Yeah. Clears out all the smoke, all the bullshit of
Yeah.
like exactly what you want. Because that's a perfect way to put it, dude. Dude, you put things perfectly. Because sometimes I can't say things, and like I like when someone can I like a man who can put things perfect. I always like me a man who can put things perfectly, like into
I'll take it,
words.
sir.
Yeah. You shut up. I'm locking the doors.
Oh, God.
It's on camera. Got your camera, Luke. No. Like when you can put things into words really well. So, because sometimes I can't fucking explain shit. So when you put it into a phrase, then I'm like, oh, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm just thinking. But yeah, dude, that's like perfect. Is that you, man? Yeah, 100%, dude. 100 fucking percent. Yeah. Meditation is fucking key, dude. I don't know where people go without it. But you know, there's also like kind of another, like a backtrack from like people, because I remember I talked to this girl who like, dude, I hate to say, but I knew this girl had some problems, because like, I don't know if something was in her life, or she had like maybe a condition or something, but like she would just start crying or like freak out during work. Like, and this was like an old job. She'd freak the fuck out, like go crazy. And I was like, and just snap on people. I was like, man, you can't, like, I get like every now and then you tell a motherfucker what's up, but you do it too often where you can't do that in the real world. You know what I mean? That's just not how, you know. And like, I remember I said something like, we brought up meditation, and we were talking, and I was like, yeah, you know, you should try it, man. It really clears you, because she was saying she was feeling depressed, and I was like, it really clears you out. I'm serious, like, you should try it. She's like, oh, God, that's my meditation. And I was like, and at the time, that's when I was like totally non-believer, and I was like, whatever. Which now I get it. Like, praying is like like you said, it's subconscious. It helps you so much. But like, I think there's a disconnect for like the people who are more Christian than spiritual. Like, they say they're spiritual, but they're more Christian, and they don't. And I do believe she's spiritual, and I do believe that probably does help her and helps her subconscious. But I think she has a disconnect of what she really wants, and it's just me from an outside view.
Dude, that's so weird.
Because she's so ingrained in like the specific. Oh, the Bible says this. Like, it's not like she's not being open-minded. I felt, you know.
It's so weird to me that, because like I had that interaction where I was like, "This is what meditation is," and she's like, "You mean prayer?" Like,
Well, yeah, I was like talking to a wall. I was like, be more open.
That's just weird to me that she would be like, "Well, I don't need meditation. I am God." That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Right.
Like,
Well, because like I said, I did a hybrid the other day, and I felt like I felt like Jesus was with me, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like
meditating with you right there.
yeah, dude. I felt like he was taught. Like, I swear to God, I felt like I felt nice. I was like, thanks, Jesus. Dude, and I'm like joking, but I'm being serious. Like, I felt like Jesus was like, I swear to God, I don't even want to say I imagined. I swear it's real. I saw Jesus in my mind go, I got you. You know what I mean? I swear to God. And I don't know, it could have been,
and even if that was just your imagination, that is your subconscious being like, we are backed in what we want to do.
Right.
That's all it has to be.
Yeah. I wonder what, wait, hold on. And it was subconsciously, because of how I grew up, it was definitely white Italian Jesus. Because that's how I look at it.
Right.
But bro, well, okay, so I always get like Mr. Screwed on this because, like, to me, Jesus was Middle Eastern, like from where he was from, right?
Yeah.
But then I hear people go, "No, Jesus was black," and then like, because no one.
Well, I think that is just them saying like Jesus was brown.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly, there's not fucking white Italians in Bethlehem. Like, that makes no sense.
Well, I mean, go to any church anywhere and there's a picture of
A white Jesus, yeah, that's not what he looked like. But, like, I know they did. I remember I looked up something, and, like, he clearly looked Middle Eastern, right? But then I hear, like, this other thing, like, talking, like, no, like, there's actually proof that Jesus was black. Like, he was, like, and I was like, I don't know. I guess you don't know. I don't know either, but that's where I was, like, just, you know, getting other people's perspective on it. I don't know, yeah.
Just had like an afro pig.
That'd be cool. Like, what's up? Yeah, have you ever seen that show, Black Jesus?
I watched like the first episode.
I watched the first
I'm
episode.
just not a TV person.
I don't watch shows too much. It has to be a really good show. I thought it was funny. Who was in that? Someone? I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I need to watch some movies. though. You watch movies, don't you? No, not really.
I mean, now that I have a girlfriend, kinda.
Oh yeah, because that's a good thing
Dude,
to do.
literally, like I would never sit down for an hour and a half by myself, but now I have an excuse to.
Yeah. I get back for a while because I got so much into music. I've always been in music, but I was way more of a movie buff than a music buff.
Right.
And then now I became more of a music buff, and then now I'm getting back into movies again because I'm getting my attention span back a little bit, right? So I don't know, man. Like watching movies, like I'm like it's nice. Like the other day, I actually like got intrigued in a movie, and I didn't like look at my phone. I was like, God, dude, I miss this. I miss actually watching a film that's good. You know what I mean? And not getting distracted by bullshit. Like, it's such interesting. Like, dude, there's this one movie I watch about like how porn got started, how internet porn got started.
Really?
But it was a fake.
I mean, that stuff ends up being hella interesting.
It is, but it wasn't a documentary. It was like a fake. It was a movie based off what happened, but it was like exaggerated.
Right.
But it was fucking. It was Luke Wilson was in it, and it was dope because it was called Middleman. It was on fucking Netflix, and I clicked on it. I didn't know what it was about. And I was like, oh, it's about internet porn, I guess. Whoops, totally unintentional. Oh. No, I'm kidding. No, but it was.
Gotta get ready for this.
Yeah, but it was funny because it was like totally like. Supposedly it was pretty real, but it was like obviously exaggerated. But it was about like these two totally dumbasses like went to like this Russian mob place and was like, hey, can I take pictures of your girls and put them up on the internet and split the profit? And they did that, and then they blew through like they made like millions of dollars like in months, obviously, because naked bitches, titties and ass. So, but what happened was they blew through so much cocaine and shit they didn't pay them back, so they had to hire Lucas Wilson or Luke Wilson, whatever his name is, the actor, he plays like a middleman. Instead of like beating the shit out of people, he settles things like does business with people.
Right.
So he did business with these Russians, and when they did business, they ended up accidentally killing the Russian dude. So they had to like throw him off into the ocean, and then he got ingrained into the porn business. So they made a company, and it was just so crazy. I'm gonna spoil it because you'll probably never watch it. But yeah, so like it was funny because the Russians ended up finding out at the end, and like they were investigation because the two idiots that started the business and then he took over, like they like accidentally filmed like an underage girl, and it was on their website. So like he made him, like they had a gun to his head at the end of the movie, and they made him sign over the rights of the porn industry to the Russians. And he's like, he thought back because he was getting charged for the pornography, and he was like, wait, can I do you mind if I date this last year, because last year there was no underage girls, so they get in trouble for it. So he signs it off, and I was like, oh shit. And then they all get arrested, and I was like, dude, he outsmarted the shit out of them. It was a great fucking movie, dude. It was a great movie, for fucking sure, dude. For fucking sure. Fuck yeah. Well, that's 2 hours, man.
Yeah.
Fuck
Probably
yeah.
like
Fuck yeah. Well, we did it, dude. That was great, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Of course.
Thank you for coming, bro. Fuck yeah. I appreciate this shit. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Signing off.